This is Carla, and we're going to be going through treating addiction with an app from Middleman Unit 6, Section 6.2. First, we have the learning outcomes, which are discussing the fundamental signs of addiction and how they are captured using smartphone technology, discussing other health support applications based in smart technology, and finally, explaining effectiveness and limitations of health support applications. To begin with, we're going to follow Tasha Hedstrom, who has been sober for 61 days. Previously to that, she struggled with an opioid addiction for 15 years, and her treatment plan for her is going to court-mandated recovery program 3 days a week. Now she tracks her progress on a phone app called Trigger Health that she discovered through Facebook, and she prefers the app because she has never found support programs like Narcotics Anonymous helpful. The app Trigger Health is a different way to access support. In addition to tracking the number of days in recovery, the app connects to a team of coaches. The coaches periodically chat through the day by text and app message with the clients. If there's no contact in the app for a day, the team gets in contact with them. So how does Hedstrom use Trigger Health app? She tracks days in recovery. She chats about her day and how it's going, and she talks about the goals that she has set for herself. She also gets aid through unexpected challenges. For example, when a stranger followed her into a lot and parked next to her and then offered her drugs. She was scared, and she texted Trigger. This made her feel like they are on a friendly basis and she has backup and support. Statistics about addiction. The National Institute of Drug Abuse says that in 2015, 33,000 people in the U.S. died from an opiate overdose. This is the highest ever recorded, more than double than in 2005. There are more than 500,000 hospitalizations related to opioid dependence each year, and this comes at a cost of $15 billion. Tens of billions more are spent on clinics and other treatment. 23 million Americans have a substance use disorder involving illicit drugs or alcohol, and there's fewer than 20% of those who need treatment and receive it. There's also 75% of the people in AAA or Narcotics Anonymous that relapse in their first year. Another option. There is 65,000 smartphone apps for healthcare, mental health being the largest category, including hundreds of addiction apps related that offer inspirational quotes, directions to nearby AA meetings, hypnosis guide, and online peer support. Trigger is more ambitious than any of those apps. It uses data from smartphones to help people handle cravings and the stresses that trigger drug use. It predicts relapse and intervenes when signals are evident. Trigger collects clues from the screen engagement, texting patterns, phone logs, sleep history, and location. It combines information from the startup like drug preferences, drug history, and the presence of the words like cravings and stress. The system has access to general information about texting and email, but not the content. It searches for patterns for the likelihood of relapse. If there is a dangerous level, a recovery team steps in or contacts the client's outside care team. Medical cost versus Trigger Health app. In the pilot projects, the charge is little to nothing. The most promising way that the app will make money is to share the financial savings that the app could offer to ensure the government agencies that pay for the medical costs associated with addiction. The initial cost for a 30-day patient treatment can cost as much as $17,000. It has been estimated that in Ohio, Medicaid is spending as much as $5 billion on hepatitis C infections, which are correlated with injection drug use. And the facility like Sprout Health Group, is a chain of addiction treatment centers using Trigger Health app. This has helped them, and the cost per patient has declined, and its counselors have been able to help patients earlier to avoid expensive stays and treatments. How did Trigger start? John Haskell is the CEO and co founder of Trigger. The idea sparked from watching his friend struggle with mental health and substance abuse. With his friend at a low point, she wanted to stop treatment and was suicidal. A call from her mother set her on a positive path. Motherly intuition was something Haskell thought could be reproduced by smart technology. The data from motherly intuition could be trackable by phone. This data was like online activity, text messages, and sleeping schedules. The Trigger Health team is from an office in Chicago. The team includes programmers and data scientists working with larger companies like Google to build the app and its platform. The recovery group includes 4 to 5 people that interact with participants on the platform. Trigger operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A single member of the recovery team follows 500 people at a time. Most communication with clients takes place via text or app messaging. Machine learning systems. Trigger's learning system have made the platform smarter over time. As more people use the system and the data is gathered, the ability to see signs of potential relapses improves. Accuracy went from 85 to 92% in a year. Some of the most important warning signs of stopping a slip have nothing to do with drugs or alcohol. Slips may come from life events like sudden death, an affair, or an issue with housing. Testing is always done with different types of issues and responses. Even though the system is responding, interaction is overseen by humans. When risk is rising, the recovery team is immediately alerted. So is Trigger Health for everyone? Well, some counselors worry that not all clients have smartphones. Counselors want to know if the client has bought drugs, but Trigger does not offer alerts when the client has contacted a drug dealer or used drugs again. And people do not want to be monitored and will not use the app. Most health apps are not regulated by Food and Health Administration. So Trigger has chosen not to publish any clinical trials of its platform, therefore limiting information and its results. So the future findings. The data from devices with daily needs such as schedules, navigating, and communication are important. Behavior is strongly influenced by surroundings and recent history. When people are awake, screens may be on for more than 20 times an hour, becoming an indicator of sleep patterns, which is important in understanding psychological illnesses and treatment. And that is it. Thank you.